Alright, guys. We are back today with for this weekend with the second day of games for the WCT Community Tournament. So today we have CDR Team 1 versus the enemy clan, and I got to watch both these teams play yesterday, and I was pretty surprised. CDR, they have some great strategies, and while I feel like they still have players who are new to the competitive scene, or at least it feels like it, their strategies are so good that you really couldn't tell unless you start getting onto a 1v1 level where I've seen some flaws. And enemy is more of the same. They're a pretty good team. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they play this. Both teams decided to take two bulldogs instead of an extra tier 8, and I would imagine that the CDR guys are going to be playing a little bit more, maybe a little bit more aggressively, because they have 254 lightweights and two bulldogs, so a lot of very fast DPM that can be dished out there. Let's go ahead and take it aerial to the middle of the map. We have Philo and his lightweight and Aimed and his bulldog both spotting their teams, and it looks like the enemy clan is going to be heading towards the bowl for a little bowl push time. The bowl push is a very popular push, but if you don't know how to get out of the bowl, if it's not effective, you can easily die in there. So luckily CDR decided to take two T-32s just as enemy did, so hopefully these T-32s are going to be able to get some damage on these guys whenever they crest, or if they even do crest. It looks like they now know where each other's heavies are, so they're playing a little passively on each side, trying to decide how to counter each other. And it looks like the enemy lights are going to go ahead and take it to the railroad tracks, where already we have Ungard and his lightweight up on the hill ready to spot just in case these guys do exactly what they're doing. So far, I don't think any damage has been exchanged, but we could see that happen very soon. Ungard takes a tiny bit of fall damage there, just be a little bit more careful coming down that hill. So the lightweights and the bulldogs are moving up, and we're pretty much about to have a full-on light tank battle here. So let's see how this is going to turn out in the railroad tracks. We got CDR and Ungard. See a track there. Oh, we see one of the bulldogs take a hit from the lightweight. Takes another hit from the bulldog. He needs to stick more with his team here. Some not so good driving from the lightweight. Stricken's on very low health. Ooh, a very nice ram to the lightweight. Now he's on enough health for a one-shot. Stricken falls on the enemy side. Before lightweight's trying to get away there. Dodges a shot from one of the bulldogs, but now he is pretty much just on full panic mode. But look at this. We have an overmatch with the heavies here from the enemy clan. So let's see how they're going to focus fire. Zone 8 is on very low health from the T-32. The lightweight has to help out their T-32. Gets an excellent kill there. I feel like the enemy clan, they had a good idea, but CDR kind of knew what was going to happen before it happened, and they accounted for it. And right now, the enemy clan is just getting focused out right now. Some excellent focus fire on Imperialish. He did not survive long, and Aim is now down and out. All we have is two IS3s left who are getting completely circled. Combat Pigeons on very low health. He takes out Philo in the lightweight, but he gets taken out by Ungard in his lightweight. And now we have Daniel, who is unfortunately left against 5 players, and he has no chance of surviving. A great focus fire. He's already down about 1,000 health, and here comes the final shot from the lightweight, and he is down and out. Excellent play by CDR. I love to see CDR strategies. It's so weird because you don't exactly expect this from a team that, at least for me, I've never seen or heard of before. I didn't see it in the last big tournament that World of Tanks had, so it's a pretty big shock for me to see a team that for me is new to come in here and to really play like they have their strategies down. That's all I'm saying. So CDR gets the first game. Alright, let's switch up the sides. So that was a pretty damn good game by CDR, as I said. I'm pretty surprised by that. Make sure we got all of our system sounds correct. Yep. Alrighty. Alrighty, guys, here we go with game 2 on Provorovka. So what did we see last game? We saw CDR really... It seems like they really knew what enemy was going to do on this map. They were perfectly set up to basically intercept their light tanks. And once they did that, the light tanks then went right into the fight where the heavies were being pushed. And they won pretty decisively. So let's see if CDR can pull off the same trick twice. So let's see how they're going to play this. It would appear as if they're going to send a few of their lights to the right to do some spotting on the railroad tracks. And it also looks like this time enemy has chosen a very... Actually, they have identical setups this time. Enemy has taken 2 bulldogs, 2 lightweights, just like CDR did, 1 IS-3, 2 T-32. So the hit points are exactly the same in this matchup, which means now it's just going to be down to raw skill and tactics to see who's going to win this game. So we already see a little bit of damage trade. One of the lightweights sneaks a shot into Pold there in the T-32. Has to be careful. Don't want to be losing HP early because you'll need it later. But it looks like the CDR guys are sort of hanging out in the middle right now. They are a little separated, I must admit. Enemy could, if they realize they have the advantage here, they could push very easily. What light tanks are out here on the field for CDR? Let's see, where are they? Where are they? No, seriously. I don't know. Oh, yep, here we go. Enemy realized they had the advantage, so they immediately pushed in. CDR pulled, and T-32 just got absolutely shredded. Not a chance of living. Fabio puts one into the T-54 lightweight, and now we have all out brawling right now. Fabio falls. Stricken falls. A lot of HP being traded right now. Capone falls. The Bulldog is on very low health for CDR. He falls. Now we have his Philo. One of the last light tanks alive. He falls as well. So let's see what we can have left here. A full health lightweight, and a full health Bulldog, and a full health T-32. And it looks like enemy has a lot more HP right now, so I think they're going to go ahead and push the tempo. The lightweight is trying to get back to T-32. T-32 takes a big hit from the IS-3, but now the Bulldog is trying to put side shots into these heavies. I think that's a great choice. What I'm hoping to see here is that Bulldog come in big and maybe clip the IS-3, the T-32. Because right now, the enemy Bulldog aimed is pushing the tempo a lot. He's coming over the cliff. He puts 1 into the T-32, puts 2 into the T-32, puts 3 into the T-32, and this is just why the Bulldog is so deadly. At pretty much any tier, just cinemates that T-32. And now Ungard is just being focus fired like hell right now. And it looks like they have fallen. So who is left over here in the Bulldog? CDR Angie. He is trying to book it out of there, but he takes a big hit from the T-32 and the IS-3, putting him down to, on what I can imagine is 183 health. So I really don't see him carrying this in any way. His clip potential isn't enough to kill, all 4 of these guys. But enemies playing it safe. They're going to go ahead and throw 1 player on the cap. I like that. I like it when teams, whenever they're trying to chase down that last kill, just to protect the chance of a draw, they go ahead and put some tanks on the cap. No point in risking it, because this is a competitive match. So you're here to win. So overall, pretty good play by enemy. Enemy realized they had an overmatch, and they didn't hesitate on it. They just went for it. They went for the overmatch. They realized that CDR probably sent tanks out to the hill like they did last game, and they decided to adjust for that factor, and they pushed the middle. Now Angie is here in the middle, takes a shot from the Bulldog, and then takes one from the IS-3, finishing him off. Really good play by enemy. The score is now 1-1. Alrighty. Game options. Alright, our next map will be Himmelsdorf. Alright, guys, here we go.
Alright, man, we've got enemies in the area. You guys are have to take them all out
Game
or capture
3,
their
this
base.
time on
Let's roll.
Himmelsdorf. We have enemy versus CDR. So what do we see? We saw CDR decisively win the first game on proc, but enemy realized the strategies that CDR was using and immediately countered for them, pushing the tempo very hard in their second game. And it caused them to get a pretty decisive win. So far the matches haven't been close, but there's only been 2 matches. We still have a lot to go. These loadouts, both teams taking 5100s, both teams are taking 2 IS-3, or no, actually, enemy's taking 3 IS-3, so it looks like the enemy clan has a little bit more HPs on their side in terms of heavy tanks. However, they have chosen to take an AMX Chaffee, so that is a bit of a worry. But then again, at the same time, if these Bulldogs on the CDR side don't play well, it'll be a huge waste of HP and a bad trade for a tier instead of taking one more tier 8. So, let's see what we have here. The 5100, the Tiger 2, and the other 5100 are all covering the 3 line for the CDR guys, and all the enemy heavies are on the 3 line as well. All the enemy tanks besides one light tank are there. So I'm expecting a push. I would have expected these guys, instead of doing what they're doing right now, to do a railroad push. They're in the perfect opportunity to do that. Philo, he can't see the railroad, but not by much. But it looks like they're just going to go ahead and go in for a straight push. The IS-3 takes one and doesn't get penned, though. Puts 2 into the 5100. Same A. One of their IS-3s takes a little bit of damage, but they're in a perfect position to push right now. They have to push quick, though. Once these heavies get over here to help them, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And also, we see the classic CDR bait and switch happening again. These Bulldogs over here are going to come around and probably start doing some work. The AMX Chaffee's caught out in the open against one of the Bulldogs. And also, another classic CDR move. I would imagine this Bulldog over here is going to go ahead and hop on the cap and put pressure on enemy to really have to push that cap and make some mistakes. That's what I'm expecting to happen here. What do we have here? Zone 8 has pretty much, he's isolated himself against these 2 guys. He has to kill the 5100. He shouldn't be worrying about the IS-3. If the 5100 is able to reload, this clip will be very deadly to him. He has to kill the 5100. He gets shot in the rear by a Bulldog, and as it turns out, CDR does not want to cap today. They want to go in and fight. So the Bulldog comes in behind and takes the IS-3 out. We have Aim Bog over here from the enemy clan. Oh, the IS-3 takes a big 456 hit from CDR Fabio. Now the Tiger 2's coming out to put its 105 mil gun to work. And what do we have over here? We have one of the Bulldogs coming in again. Gonna have a lot of shock and all damage here. I'm pretty interested to see how this is gonna work. On the move, firing. He puts 1 into Stricken. And it looks like they're using the single shotgun on this Bulldog. Pretty interesting move by CDR. I actually see why now, because they would have hit the autoloader cap if they would not have done that. So thank you for them. Ooh, big ammo rack there for 267 on Stricken. And just as I was saying, thank you CDR for making sure that Bulldog doesn't have the autoloader and being honest. So looks like enemy pushed the cap hard this time. I feel like CDR should have let the light tank on the cap. I think it would have helped them out a lot. Oh, they get the reset, but at what cost now? Can they even come back from this? Try to put 1 into the T-32. He takes 1 from one of the 5100s, hits 5100 for another reset. So now we have a Tiger 2 and an IS-3 versus a 5100 and a T-32. 5100's dumping his clip into CDR Fabio in the IS-3. He's taken 2 hits. He's taken 3 hits. One more, he's going to be out of this game. Fabio puts 1 into him. Now Pold has to put 1 into that 5100 and take him out. There you go. And it is now a 1v1 situation. The T-32 is on a lot more health than the Tiger 2. However, the Tiger 2 does have a better gun. So, who is going to come out on top here? It's really going to be a matter of who is going to use their armor more effectively. The T-32 is pretty much hold down here, so the Tiger 2 does have a lot to go through. And the Tiger 2 doesn't have a good turret. So let's see if the APCR rounds from the T-32 will just go through. Tiger 2's looking for a poke. He has to find something. T-32 fires. Yep, pens that turret. That turret on the Tiger 2 is not really that good. Tiger 2's looking for a shot on Imperial. Finds his cupola. Great shot there, but now the Tiger 2 has to be careful. Yep, the T-32's doing what he should have done. Pushes the tempo, and I would imagine, yep, he is dead. Excellent play at the end there by the enemy clan. It is now 2,
Now
2,
that's how you
1.
do it.
Alright, let's go ahead and switch sides. Alrighty, guys. Alrighty. So what have we seen here? The enemy clan's making a comeback. CDR have been pretty good in their past matches, and the enemy clan has been good as well, but I will say I was surprised when CDR didn't cap last game. They really should have hopped on that cap. I think it would have split enemy's forces a little more, maybe, made them a little more hectic. And they decided to try and go in for that kill, so that was pretty surprising by me, and it didn't pay off well for them. So hopefully, they go back to their strategies we've been seeing, in that they go for that cap whenever they realize they can probably easily do it. So that's what I'd like to see. But now let's see if enemy can win on Himmelsdorf again. It seems like both teams sort of read each other's tactics after they win or lose a match, and usually they adjust for it. So at least that's what we saw on Proc with enemy. So I want to see if they're going to do it here again. Let's see if CDR this time is going to do it, or if CDR is going to try maybe go for their classic cap strategy, as I was talking about earlier. And also another thing I like here with these two clans is, in the Discord, they're very nice to each other. They're very sportsmanlike. They respect me as a moderator. So I really do appreciate that. As you can see here, I mean, just this tank choosing process we're doing right now, I mean, it's going very smoothly. Everybody's choosing their tanks pretty quickly. Really no issues. This is what it should be like. So thank you guys. Thank you for that. All right, here we go. Game 4. Alrighty, and just quickly, you guys who are in here watching the stream, thank you very much for watching the stream. I'm glad you enjoyed these sort of gameplays and commentaries. I have a lot of fun doing them, and thank you for BR Tactics for putting a lot of this tournament together initially, and really bringing the community out to have some fun and play some competitive games. Thanks for Wargaming for also backing our prizes. I'm excited for that one once we start getting towards the end. So let's see, both teams. This time, CDR staying with their same setup, taking that AMX Chaffee, but now enemy has taken the AMX Chaffee, so it now looks, sorry. CDR are now taking an AMX Chaffee instead of their two Bulldogs. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see here. The Chaffies are trading in the middle. The enemy Chaffee didn't come off as well there, and it looks like the enemy heavies are going to go ahead and do a 3-line push. Or a 2-line push, rather. So right now the CDR heavies are sort of spread out, and I think we're about to see a lot of focus fire. Ultra has to get back. He has to get in this pocket to his right. He's about to get focus fired. He gets one put into him. Tiger 2 bounces one. Tiger 2 takes one. Ultra is now in a lot of trouble. Tiger 2 takes 2 more hits from the IS-3. Bounces another one. A lot of damage being created here. I think enemy clan still on top on HP. Ultra's in a lot of trouble. Needs to put one more in. He manages to bounce his shot off Zone 8. Now Zone 8 just has to pen, I think, one more shot to kill him. Unless it's a low roll. They get a low roll on Ultra. Ultra's on little to no health now. He puts one into Zone 8, and I think he's about to fall. Yep. Ultra falls, but Capone falls as well. And now we have a 5100, and now we have an IS-3 versus IS-3 here. What's this? Here comes that AMX Chappie. Gotta go ahead and try and put some havoc in the CDR Seimei. Seime's taking 2 hits from that AMX Chappie. He puts a very low roll, 355, into Stricken. Seimei does have the HP advantage right now. And it looks like the light tanks are now coming to play. Imperialish is bullying the AMX Chappie, but the AMX Chappie's trying to get away right now. He's trying to see if he can get away. AMX Chappie eats a shot from one of the enemy guys and then dies, so not a very good play there. A little bit unlucky. Stricken Clover is about to fall to the lightweight. The lightweight rams him for no effect, just loses a little bit of health. Not that good of a trade once again. The enemy heavies are sticking as a pack, just focus firing down these CDR guys. But CDR Fabio manages to take out Zone 8, but the T-32 now takes out Fabio. And now CDR Angry versus Daniel. Daniel's on more health. Daniel needs to push the tempo right now. He needs to push him. I don't think this next shot will kill him unless it's a high roll. Oh no, he bounces it. That's probably the worst thing that could have happened there. And looks like Daniel is now all alone. Getting shot from multiple angles. Bounces one from the rear from CDR Seimei. Let's see what's going to happen here. Yep. And Daniel puts one more into Angie. And it looks like Daniel has fallen.
Mission accomplished.
Alright guys, now we are going to travel to Mervanka. Alright, so the score is 2-2 now, and pretty much what I said happened. It looks like CDR was able to adjust in that last game, and they just, they got enemy. So, it's going to be interesting to see how Mervanka plays out. Mervanka is a very variable map. You can do a lot of things on this map. But in this map, I would say that using the high ground to your advantage is probably one of the biggest things you can do. So that's what I'd like to see from both clans. Alright, there we go. CDR needs to pick one more tank. Alright, guys, here we go. 2 bulldogs. 2 bulldogs. Alright, start it up. Here we go, game 5. Here we go, guys. Game 5 this time on Morovanka. This is a pretty variable map in the game. It can be played with, you know, it, it, it can be played with all mediums, or I'm sorry, all light tanks. You know, you can do a heavy loadout on this map. You know, you can do a mix. So, pretty interested to see what's going to happen here. Both teams chose to take Bulldogs. No 5100s on either team. It looks like the enemy clan chose one more IS-3 instead of CDR's T-54 lightweight, so let's see how this is going to pay off. The enemy clan does have a slight HP advantage in that they chose enemy has a slight HP advantage because they chose that extra IS-3. I think it's about 300 hit points, which doesn't sound like much, but it can mean a lot in a competitive landscape, so let's see what's going to happen. So, CDR is splitting up their lights. They're sending the 2 Bulldogs to the Magical Forest to go spot, and lo and behold, the enemy Bulldogs are actually doing the same thing. So, I wonder if they're going to engage each other, or if they're going to maybe just split off. It looks like the enemy Bulldogs aren't in that much of a mood to play right now, which I think is a good choice. I think they'd be more effective in helping their team. The CDR lights are sticking around. I think they might go ahead and chase one of them. I'm not sure. Oop, they managed to put one into Stricken. Stricken's trying to get out of there. He does need to. He doesn't want to be losing HP early. So the CDR lights are hot on Stricken's tail. They're going to go ahead and start heading into the middle of the map. So now let's go ahead and move it along over here where we see the CDR heavies trading well. Both T-32s have taken a hit this game, and it looks like Daniel has taken a hit, and it looks like Zone 8 has taken a hit so far, so we have pretty even HP right now. T-32, Zone 8 takes another hit from the CDR T-32. 2 shots being traded here with no penetration. They're all in pretty set up spots. However, like I said, enemy has that extra heavy tank, so if they wanted to use it in a sort of push, they probably could. It would be risky, though. What I would like to see more is maybe the enemy light tanks coming in here for a swoop or something like that. But then again, the CDR lights look like they're doing a pretty good thing right now. Looks like they're going to come in mass and try and take out the enemy light tanks who are pretty scarred up right now. Aim just coming down, really bad mistake in doing what he just did. If he gets out of this, I'd be surprised. Nope, he does not make it out of that. And yet the enemy heavies are pushing their advantage right now, but Daniel comes out and gets focus fired, losing a lot of his health. He is now out of the game, so now it is CDR who has the advantage. The CDR lights need to go ahead and come over here and, you know, just start pummeling these guys. And yep, I feel like those Bulldogs weren't effective at all, and that's why CDR managed to win this one, because their light tanks were very effective, and their heavy tanks that were over here managed to hold up pretty well despite being overmatched. And yep, it is a massacre. The Imperialish getting absolutely focused right now. Oh, he managed to take out one, but he is now dead. Great play by CDR. Really like the way they did that. Using their extra light tank to their advantage and managing to make the other enemy light tanks pretty much irrelevant. Alright, let's go and switch these sides up. Alrighty. So already in the matchup, enemy is choosing to stay with the 2 and 41 Walker Bulldogs. Even though last game they weren't tremendously effective, so hopefully they're going to be used better this time. And it looks like they're dropping one of their IS-3s for a T-54 lightweight, whereas CDR, it looks like they're going to go ahead and stay with their same setup. So all enemy has to do, all CDR has to do now is just win again on this map, and they got it. Ready, and it looks like both teams are ready to go, so let's go ahead and hit it off. Game 6 here. CDR leads 3-2, pretty close games here, but it really all comes down to each team reading each other's strategies, and that seems to be what happens. It's so far, what ends up happening is one team will win the first round, and then the next round, the other team will adapt to their strategies and win the round. And we've seen that on Himmelsdorf and on Pravorovka. So let's see if it's going to happen again on Moravanka, or if CDR can break the trend and win the final game for them, or if we're going to have to go into overtime on Sand River Assault.
Got enemies in the area. Take them down or capture their base.
Let's go ahead and see how each team is going to attack Moravanka. So CDR choosing their same loadout as last time, 2 T-32s, 2 IS-3s, a lightweight, 2 Bulldogs, and it looks like the enemy clan has chosen to take 2 lightweights, 2 Bulldogs, 1 IS-3, 2 T-32s. So now CDR has the hit point advantage now, but they have to watch out for that extra lightweight that enemy now has. Those lightweights are very deadly. Now, one thing I like that that enemy is doing right now is that they're not sending their heavy tanks to this traditional spot here. They're sending them all the way here into this lower ground over here, so that if CDR wants to kill them, they have to come all the way over here, probably get shot at because these guys are hull down, and then once they get here, they gotta fight them in a dip. I really do like that. I like their tank placement. However, we can see here in the back that the light tanks from enemy are now in the base, and they're pushing the base right now. This is a pretty good strat, because now the CDR heavies have committed to moving up into the middle of the map, so it's gonna be kind of hard for them to get back. The CDR Angie takes a hit from the lightweight, takes another hit from another lightweight, takes a hit from the Bulldog. Angus taken out by a lightweight. And, you know, that's where these light tanks just come in handy. That fast DPM taking out other light tanks very effectively. So it looks like Capone manages to absorb a shot into his tracks. Maybe he bounced it. But these guys are pushing the cap hard, and this is what we like to see here. If you put cap pressure on early on, it can really split apart a team. I mean, CDR, they don't have a lot of options right now. They only have 10 seconds to reset, and I don't think they are. Unless they get a lucky shot in here somewhere. Oh, they get 2 shots in. Oh, a 400 roll on Capone from one of the IS-3s. A lot of damage there. T-32 is tracked. Gets hit from one of the Bulldogs. He is tracked down the open right now. I'm expecting the T-32, who I think is, or the IS-3 puts a big one into Stricken. It's a good thing the IS-3s are splitting up their fire, trying to shoot different light tanks, and now every light tank has been shot in the cap. Enemy clan, they had a good idea here, but let's see how they're gonna make this work. They really can't cap anymore. CDR is on them again. They gotta start moving. They gotta get out of there. They gotta start trying to focus down heavy tanks, exactly like how they're doing right now. We have, who is this, Seimei, who is in a lot of trouble now, but it looks like the Capone gets tracked right there, trying to go in. He gets taken out, and now the Bulldog is trying to help out Seimei, but we see a lot of, ooh, great ram there. There's a lot of fire going right now, but it looks like the Bulldog's about to fall, about to get shot by the lightweight. Yep. Pigeon manages to take him out. The IS-3 is still alive. Seimei is still alive. Combat Pigeon trying to find a shot on him, but Philo saves his friend. Great play there. What do we have over here? The Fabio and Ultra now on a 2v3 situation with heavy tanks who are on a lot of health. Both T-32s are nearly on full health here. So what we want to see here is we want to see, who is this? Yep, we want to see Philo come in here and try and take out the weaker IS-3. But it looks like they know he's coming. Oh, he gets taken out by Fabio because he was too focused on worrying about the light tank. But the Bulldog now in a great position takes out Ultra. So now it is 2-on-2 right now. The other Bulldog trying to come back into play from the enemy side of things. But Fabio is now in a one-shot kill. He gets taken out by Zone 8. It is now a 2v3. CDR's on the back foot. Seimei is on very low health. The Bulldog, I think it's just going to go in on Seimei if the T-32 doesn't kill him. Oh, the shot gets absorbed into the track. Oh, no. The enemy clan pulling off a win against CDR. And you see, this is what I'm talking about. These teams just, like, read each other's strategies. This is very weird. I've never seen this before. Just constant, back-to-back wins here. I mean, or, like, just constant, win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. It's amazing. So, the enemy clan wins that one. Alright guys, we are going to the tiebreaker, Sand River Assault. Pretty excited to see how they're going to play this. So, enemy is already taking a 5100, whereas CDR are taking three. So far, they picked 3 IS3. So it looks like CDR is going for a assault a assault type tank layout because they do have to attack. We have discussed this in the Discord. CDR is attacking. So enemies on the defense, CDR is attacking. I really hope I got these spawns right. I'm pretty sure I did. Alright, enemy has to just choose their last tank. Their last two tanks, rather. And it looks like they're going to go with a Type 64. So they're dropping the Bulldog. And what are they going to replace it with? I think this is the first time enemy, only the second time in this game that enemy has fielded a tier 6. They fielded one on Himmelsdorf, but that was it. And here we go. We are a go Bulldog, Bulldog. Yep, yep, yep. Alright, we are good, boys. Alright, so we are here with CDR who has to attack. Alright, and we are off. So, what do we have here? Both team, the enemy has chosen the field only for the second time in this match. A tier 6, a Type 64. Whereas CDR is sticking with their two Bulldogs, and they're being a lightweight. So, the enemy clan has a massive hit point advantage here. And it looks like Combat Pigeon has probably already been spotted, and maybe spotted both the Bulldogs and the lightweight already. OP takes it from the Bulldog. The Bulldog is not messing around. He wants to get that light out early. The lightweight's lining up a shot. Doesn't quite have the gun depression. Now they're gonna go ahead and back off. What am I expecting here? I'm expecting the enemy clan, due to their hit point advantage and just their heavy tank advantage, and also the fact they brought an AMX 5100. I'm expecting them to be a little bit aggressive, even though they're defending. They have a lot more firepower on their side, especially with that 5100. That thing can be super deadly. But it looks like the enemy clan is going to go ahead and break up their heavies. They're sending the IS-3s. They're sending the IS-3s to the B5 area, but they're keeping all their T-32s on the one line on the C square to defend. I don't think that's a good choice. They should really stick together here because they have the hit point advantage. You don't want to split up your hit points. But let's see how it works. This is going to be pretty interesting if it can work. So it looks like the CDR heavies are stacking up, waiting for an opportunity to push. The Type 64, it looks like he takes one for maybe the lightweight. He's on kind of low health right now. Only on about 4, maybe 350 health, because the tank does not have a lot of health. And both teams are playing pretty stagnant right now. And because this is assault, the good thing is, if the teams just choose not to attack each other, enemy will win, because there is no draw on assault. If you don't win the assault, you lose. So that's what I like about this as a tiebreaker map. It's either win or lose, no draws. So both teams are just sort of waiting it out. And it looks like the CDR guys are trying to move their T-32s, maybe. Yep, their two T-32s have shifted over to this side because I think they realize all the CDR heavies are over here. And here come the CDR heavies. I think they're getting ready for a push. They're in an organized line right now. I would expect them to do something soon. Also, it looks like, who is that? Unguarded Khan has managed to slip right through the defenses and looks like he's going to go up on the ridge, but there is a T-32 waiting for him there. And also, I totally forgot, who is over here? CDR Angie's over here as well, both Bulldogs over here. So it looks like they're sending their Type 64 back. They might realize what's about to happen if those Bulldogs start pushing. The Bulldogs are being cautious, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and go in. One of them gets stuck on a rock. Come back at each other. Right now, they're in the low ground. I don't think they could be spotted right now. But even if they are, they can't really be shot at. So far, we still have a stalemate. So we still have a stalemate here. Oh, the Bulldogs put one in the Type 64 for a high roll of 188. And now we have a situation where their Type 64 is on very low health. T-32 puts one into the Bulldog for a nice, probably around 300 roll. And it looks like we're finally seeing some pushing action from the CDR heavies. Fabio's taken a lot of hits this game, and now he's tracked. Not good. Oh, and he gets set on fire, and then he gets focus fired down. Great focus fire by enemy. So it looks like, who is this? Seimei is getting a little bit too aggressive. He's walking right into a trap. Look at all these heavies behind him. But it looks like Seimei is trying to just stay in front of Daniel so he cannot be shot by all the enemies behind him. And he manages to take out Daniel. Capone in a lot of trouble because I think the T-54 lightweight is, where is he? Yep, he is up here. Philo putting some side shots into the enemy heavies. Enemy Capone falls to the T-32 pulled. So now CDR have a tank advantage now. I feel like this 5100 should be a little bit more effective. And what do we have here? The Bulldogs managed to take out the Type 64. They are now coming in for the swoop. Two Bulldogs attacking one heavy tank, especially an American heavy with no side armor, is a very bad situation. He's getting focused really bad right now. He puts one into him, knocks one off his turret, takes another in his butt. He could easily get set on fire here, but I think he's just dead. But the 50, here comes the 5100. I would imagine he's loaded. I think he's going to go in for a ram here. Manages to kill one of the Bulldogs. Excellent choice to go for the ram there. It was a great trade. The Bulldog is now nearly about to kill the T-32. Oh, but what's this? Will he do it? No, he doesn't. So now it is 3-on-3. And I think the 5100 still has a few shots left. But Philo manages to take out the last remaining defendant over here. And CDR has a massive hit point advantage right now. I'll give them that much. So they got to, you know, this is a time where they got to be careful. And I think what we're going to go ahead and do is Philo is going to go around and flank. Because these heavies have a big hit point advantage, as I said. So now they just have to be careful and try not to lose too much health. And, you know, just cap pretty much. Because the T-32s are pretty much the only people who can, you know, try and attack these guys. Yep, you see two bounces there. The 5100's coming out for a poke. Pretty risky move, but he is on full health, though. He needs to just go out there and push. I don't know why he would just come out there, get shot, and fall back. That's not a good trade. And he ends up blocking a shot from one of his teammates. Yep, CDR. Seimei takes out Stricken. 5100's coming out to poke. Puts one into pulled. Guys 3 takes one. Seimei takes another one. Can he put one more into Seimei? Yes, he does. But now Philo is behind the last T-32 in the lightweight, and Imperial is about to fall. And there you go. CDR wins 4-3. Excellent play from both teams this game. It really was a tight game. Alright guys, well that is it. CDR wins 4-3. Excellent play by both teams. Great sportsmanship. They both knew the rules. This was a very smooth match to moderate. You know, what can I say? Great teams on both sides. Great players. So yeah, that is game one. The next game that'll be coming up for my channel will be Immortals, and I think Enemy again. Let me make sure of that. Let's see, Group B. Here are my Enemy. Oh, here we are. Here I am. Versus Enemy. I don't know. We have a Corrupt versus GN squad. So that'll be in about 30 minutes, guys. So I'm gonna take a quick break. Then I'll be back on in about 30 minutes. So hopefully you guys will be back there for that. It'll be a good match. So thank you guys for coming out and watching, and I will see you guys soon.